Your secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays, kids more worried about the reef.
Hey guys, Jeffries here, and welcome to That's right guys, we are back. Welcome back to City Skylines. I am of course Jeffries, and today we are going to carry on working on the new part of the city. First of all, what have I done off camera? Well, I've worked on the dog bone, and actually I'm going to mark this down as a district, just so that I don't forget. So I think we want to start naming parts like this, you know. Each part of the city will have its own identity. So this being called this, currently called Valley Park, but we will change that. We're going to call it the Bone, or the Dog Bone. There we go, the Dog Bone. And that's just so that we can see what it is. Now we've got a bit of a budget problem here. It keeps fluctuating. Every time I try and do something on this game, it starts affecting the budget quite considerably. So we want to get this back up into the green, basically. And I'm looking at sort of expenses. One of the big expenses we've got right now is road service. Road service, not surface. But I can't see where you change that on the budgets panel. So that's a bit of a problem. I had downloaded a mod that automatically adjusted water and electricity to keep these. So if there was demand for electricity, it would up the electricity budget. And then if there wasn't demand, it would lower it. But that mod was broken, so until I find another one, we're not going to be able to use that one right now, which is a bit of a pain. But again, you can see some of these, health for example, and trash, they're right down at the bottom, so we've only got 50% budget. Water and electricity, they're fundamental, so they have to stay where they are. We are back in the green again though, so I can close this for now, because we want to do some work on the city, as I keep saying. Now, again, this terraforming might have to wait another episode because we've still not got the budget for it. But what I have done in here is built this train station. Not many people are using it at this exact moment in time. Is that going to say? Oh no, not good enough goods to sell. But this will increase in popularity, I hope. So we've got one here that's connected to the outside network. You can see there it slopes down and joins up. And then we've got this one here, which goes via this raised station as well, and then it goes up through here. Just again checking, not enough goods, good. As long as we're not opposed to the taxes, otherwise we do have a problem. But yeah, this railway line goes along here, along the coast, and then it dips down underground just before the wind turbines, and then curves round to this station here. And yeah, it works. Basically, it's another way of getting from this station here, the main central transit hub, which again, we need a name for this, so I'm going to mark it out. I might just call it the Octagon actually, in which case I will just go along like this, make sure I've got all of this zoned, like so, and then just fill in the gap. We'll call it, it's called Primrose Park, which actually is quite a nice name, but for now I'm just going to rename it the Octagon. Is it Owen? Is it Gon or Gan? I don't know. It's hexagon and heptagon, so I'm guessing it's going to be Octagon. You might have to correct me on that one guys if I've got that one wrong. But as you can see, there's lots of people using this still, which is fantastic. The metro station is very popular indeed. I have also rebuilt the metro line, although I think I did that on camera, so actually there's no point in me talking about that. Citizens are sick, not enough workers, not enough workers. So we've got a demand for residential, it seems. So in that case, we are probably going to have to build some more residential areas. Oh, this is a problem as well. The dog bone is starting to choke back the traffic, which is slightly problematic. How are we going to deal with that? Because I've got the priority sign set up, so every time a car comes around here, it stops a car from being able to pull out onto the dog bone. and that does become a little bit of an issue. There's a limousine. That's something else that I downloaded recently. But yes, we want to do residential. I'm going to stop distracting myself now. Focus. That's the key. So, first things first, we want to build this road. I said this in the last episode, that's going to go up and over this freeway. Now, the other thing I've downloaded is the Fine Heights tool. So we can actually build things at a slightly better slope than normal. In fact, even that, I think. Oh, it's just about right, actually. So you get these nicer looking slopes. I think that looks very nice indeed. So because of that, first of all, we now have a power problem because I severed the connection here. So let's fix that quickly before we run out of money. The next thing we want to do is grab this type of road, the 4-lane. And we want to build a road that goes along sort of like this. And again, we'll worry about the railway some other time. Eventually the railway is going to be either put underground or elevated. I imagine it's probably going to be elevated, but you know, underground's not a bad option. We should be able to connect that up like that. Fantastic. Again, it's all about getting people around the city, so using these little avenues is a good way of getting cars around without necessarily causing too much in the way of problems. It's not going to be perfect. It's never going to be absolutely perfect, but you kind of get used to that. Right, so again we're going to go with curved roads because we don't want boring straight roads everywhere. Here we're going to go for a bit more of a conventional shape, and then we're going to build like so. Hopefully I'm not getting rid of too much power right now. Because providing these buildings are powered, it should span across to here, which means I can actually get rid of these power lines now. I can definitely get rid of that one. And that means I can zone this as well, so we get even more buildings, which is perfect. We'll build something here, probably a park of some kind. Again, I'm not 100% sure right now. We'll leave that as is, although we will get rid of these wires too. That's going to cause the power problem, because what we need to do now is that, and that's going to fix the power problem. There you go. All those power symbols are going to disappear. Fantastic. And now it's just a question of filling in the rest of these gaps. So, do this nice and quick. Let's actually do this at the right size as well. There we go. I'm not 100% pleased with how this is going still. I feel like there are a couple of tricks that we're missing out on. But I don't really know what I can do about that right now, because I don't want straight roads. It's as simple as that. I want nice curved roads. So that's all that done. I'm going to do this zoning here too, and all of this zoning. And then over time we should see more buildings spring up. How are we doing budget wise? Budget wise is good. We're still making money. That's always the key. If you don't make money, you're in trouble, basically. So you got to keep the money rolling in. Do another road here, like so, just to again get a few more buildings going on there. So there we go, that's that little bit of an extension done. Now, as I've said before, terraforming, this bit here especially, is going to be a nightmare, because we've got this prison, first of all, which we're going to have to move, which can actually go there. It's whether cars can reach it or not. They have to drive through the recycling centre to get to the prison, which is a strange one, but then I'm sure stranger things have happened. Let's do that for now. Those are buses using that as a turning point as well. In fact, what bus line is that? We don't have any bus lines that use this. What is going on there? That's a mystery. I'm also looking the wrong direction. There we go. So yeah, we've still got traffic using the Octagon, and it's still a bit of a pain actually. I'm trying to think of other ways of doing it. I like the idea of the roundabouts though, that's why I keep this. The problem is, I mean, traffic lights could be a solution, I suppose. If I was to switch traffic lights on. It won't necessarily stop queues, but it will control them easier. So then you won't need priority signs there now, because it's traffic light controlled. And if you sit and watch it for a little bit, you'll see that these guys go, the lights turn red, these guys go, that's a glitch. These lights turn red and then the cycle starts all over again. We shouldn't need that for buses. That should be okay. And the rest of the Octagon is pretty much controlled anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem either. But yeah, I think that might be the solution for now. Is just to put these traffic lights in. Because you can see already the vast number of vehicles that move. It's just because one vehicle comes down here and 25 vehicles have to stop here, and it does become an absolute nightmare. So if you have it controlled like this, that should hopefully, for a small time anyway, solve the problem. I'll keep a close eye on that anyway and let you guys know. That won't empty, which is also a problem. But what I want to do now is get rid of this hill. So the best way to do that is get rid of all this stuff, go into the terrain thing. What's this one? There's the one where you right click and then left, that's the one. And I think there's a way to make that bigger, but I don't know how. I haven't a clue. There should be a way to make that bigger, but look at our money. It's dipping already. We're spending an awful lot of money on this. So you can see that this is not going to be an episode of pure terraforming, because that is not going to work. But you can see already we've got to get rid of this huge hill, and that is just the start, because we've got to then do that hill over there as well in order to make this flat for our city centre and our downtown area, and that's just right now it's not going to happen. Because that is a big hill. The other option is use the smoothing tool as well, but even then I'm not convinced. Oh, hello. This is new as well. This is how you can do things with vehicles. So you can, for example, so you can remove all driving bicycles or parked bicycles. You can change these. Oh, this is what I was going to use it for. Say we had a forestry area up here somewhere, and then you had a cargo station right next to it. If oil trains are spawning from that cargo station, it doesn't look very realistic. But if you make it so that only forestry trains can spawn there, that's what this mod here does. So you go here, you go to cargo train, and then you choose which ones spawn from which areas. I think that's kind of cool. Plus all the vehicles that we've got available appear here. So you can see which ones have come from the workshop. You can change the colours of them, you can change their max speed, their acceleration forces, brake forces. It's pretty damn cool, I'd say. Forestry trucks, tractors, trailers, all that stuff. It's very, very cool. Right, it looks like we're still lacking workers. Surely that means we have a demand. Yeah, all these buildings are now disappearing. That's not good. That's not good at all. I was hoping that there'd be an increased demand for residential, and therefore these buildings would start springing up. But that's not looking likely right now, and that's going to start affecting our budget. You can see it's dropping like a stone. That's not good at all. Why is that happening? What I could do to try and counteract that is put some low density housing in over here, down by the river. Because the last thing we want is all of our buildings becoming abandoned. That is just bad news all round. We do not want that. So just while we've still got our heads above water, I'm going to make sure that we put some more residential in over here and some commercial as well. So let's choose low density commercial, fill that in, because we've still got a demand for commercial, like so, and then we're going to put low dense res in over here. And just for now I'm going to do the outside of this road as well. Hopefully we have buildings springing up again, but that's not good news, guys. Something else which I've done, another mod that I've got is I think it's called the Realistic Populations mod. So what it means is you end up with buildings like this one. It spreads out the population more evenly. So because this is a higher density building, it will increase the population. Whereas another example, let's say this house here, it will lower the population. So this has 5 households living there. This one has 4 households out of 5. Whereas these buildings over here, 3 households. How does that work? That's not supposed to happen. Disconnect to power grid, yeah, that's cool. I'm just going to delete those wires. Okay, that's a bit confusing then. These are supposed to have higher number of houses. Oh, there you go, 7. That one's got 7, that one's got 5, that one's got 5. But if you look how many floors this building has, so let's say the ground floor doesn't count. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, maybe that is more realistic. 6 if you count the one on top. But that's supposed to evenly spread out the population still. We have a problem here with dead people who are dying in shops. Again, that's not good. Why have we not got power here as well? What is going on? Temporarily fix that. Our budget has dropped right down because of this. Hopefully the balances will start evening out again. Because we need the residential to spring up, and then the commercial will spring up to match the residential. Or the residential will spring up. No, I've already said that. The commercial will spring up, and then the residential will spring up to match it. Either or. But we've got loads of room for buildings to spring up. It's just a question of when. But I quite like this little neighbourhood, actually. I think we should zone. So let's zone. Let's try and be lazy. We'll do this bit like this. All the way around, like so, and then we'll follow the road here. Hillside Square, that's called. That's going to change, because first of all, we're not on a hillside, second of all, it's not square. So that needs to definitely change. And I'd say we zone this as far as there, and go along this road, and then join up again over here. So that's Hillside Square, that's 1. We're then going to zone this area independently. So all of this bit, this centre section, up as far as there. That's Dale Square. Again, it's not square. So we're going to have to change that too. If you've got any name suggestions, guys, please feel free to drop them below. I'm terrible at naming things. You might have noticed that from Cities in Motion as well. I can't name things at all. So if you have any ideas whatsoever, drop them in the comment section, and I guarantee you they will be the ones that are chosen. So then the final one, we're going to do all of this side here. In fact, we're going to do 2 more. So we're going to do all of this. It's going to be a big area, this one. Like so, that's Florence Heights. That one might stay. We'll just do the big zone tool for this. Like that. And then finally, we're going to do this little neighbourhood down here. Might even have a little sneaky connection here to Birdsong Hills. Daffodil Heights. That's quite a nice name. Okay. So again, we need names for these areas, guys. Drop them in the comment section below. I'm going to work on policies as well at some point. Probably do that off camera as well, and then show you guys in the next episode what it is I've been up to. But as for this one, again, we're not really getting much done per episode, but things are starting to happen. That's what's important. We have got traffic problems here at the dog bone as well. Because again, every time a vehicle comes around here, these guys have to stop. In fact, are they spawning under there or something? 1 car at a time, that's not good. Alright, we've got a few cars going there. Something else which I need to do is stop vehicles from changing lanes, because that's also causing traffic. We don't want traffic at all. We want this to be a smooth flowing operation. So here, cars can no longer change lane, and here. So you have to pick your lane as you're getting off the freeway. You can't change lane once you're off. And the way we're going to counteract that is that's going to go to there and there, That one is going to go to there, and then that one is going to go to there and there. And that should stop the stupid lane changing that's currently causing more traffic problems. This could do with being a slightly looser bend. Again, I might work on that off camera. We keep having random vehicles appearing. I can't see them when they go around here, and yet suddenly they appear. That could just be me missing something though. But yeah, we need to find a way to get this to go smoother. So I'll work on that as well, guys, off camera. But I think we're about done for this episode, in all honesty. It's a shame that we're not getting much done per episode right now, but you know, there are points in this game where things do move quite slowly. And you do have to sort of bide your time and wait, and then eventually you get an opportunity to do something big and you take it. Right now we are having to move slowly. We are on a tight budget. We've got to make sure that citizens are happy before we move on to the next bit. There's crime going on over here, so we're going to have to put down a police station. I'll do this stuff on camera really quickly so you can see what it is I'm doing. Let's pop that there. How are we doing for fire? Oh dear. Pop that there. That should stop that from burning down, and then we'll pop another one. Again, that's the problem with curved roads. Put that there. That should stop those buildings from burning down. Health-wise, we're not too bad, I suppose. We could do with some more crematoriums. Don't like the idea of there being a crematorium in the middle of the city, so I think I'll put it outside on the edge. But there you go, the money is starting to dry up, so we're running out of money to be able to build things. One more thing I will say actually about land heights. This looks okay right now, but I think as a built-up city you want it to be preferably as flat as possible. Obviously there are examples like San Francisco, for example, is a very good one. It's built on very, very steep slopes, and it's a bustling city and it works, and that's fine. But sometimes cities like this, on this game, you want them to be a little bit flatter. So roads like this are quite troublesome. Roads like that are very troublesome. How did I not notice that when I was building it? That will have to change. But yeah, apart from that, we're doing okay actually. This is starting to look quite nice. These are all UK buildings, and they're looking very, very nice. It's like walking down the streets of London. And then obviously we're going to expand in here, fill in this gap here, and then we're going to start heading south and start doing all the downtown section over here. And eventually this entire grid here is going to be full of buildings, roads, services, tourism, leisure, all that stuff. So there's plenty of work still to do in the next few episodes. But as for now, guys, I am going to call it an episode. Thank you very much once again for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to my channel, thank you guys for your continued support. Don't forget to leave a like if you're enjoying the videos and indeed the series. And until next time, I will see you soon.